Hello, welcome back. You might have seen in my previous videos that I fitted a tow bar to my Volvo XC60 2014. Well, in this video I'm going to show you how to do the electrics, and to be honest, it might sound complicated, but it's very easy. Let's get into it. The hardest part you need to do is to actually find out where those cables go to on your car loom. So I'll spin around, but that's pretty easy, but I will show you how to do it. What you will need a little tester, something like that. These are about £3, £4, and you'll connect the crocodile sort of a clip to an earthing point somewhere like up here. Okay, so that's the earthing point, and then every time you just put it in, and this will light up when it's detected you've got live power. For example, I'm going to take my live, because with this bypass relay you need to have a separate kind of live which will go into here, and the white cable from here needs to be earthed, and then that will go on a part of the, but what I do, I sort of sand the paintwork off and put a little screw in and fixed it so it's got a good earth. So for example, I know that is kind of live, so I'll show you. See, if I go to this one, that isn't live. I'm touching it, nothing. The live, okay. So that is where I'll be getting my live to power the bypass. So the rest of it, we'll break it down. I will do the left hand side first, and then what you need to do for the right hand side is to go over for the fog light, the right indicator and the right tail light. But what we will do on first, we will connect the tow bar cable, which comes from down there up into here. We'll connect these wires to this, and we'll get it mounted here, just there. How I'm going to mount it is Velcro, sticky Velcro on here, and then I'm going to put a cable tie around it, so if it moves a little bit it won't rattle and go ahead. So okay, let's get this bit installed. So okay, let's break it down. You have a bypass relay. What that does is when you put the indicators on, it will send the power from here to the trailer. So what you have these wires coming from the tow bar, which is here, these ones. Unfortunately, I did buy this tow bar second hand, and when they uninstalled it, they just cut the wires where they could, and so had to buy this bypass relays separately. So the wires are shorter than normal. Normally the wires would be, you could have them out here, so it's going to be a bit awkward to connect. So these wires with the car sort of sponsor number on here. You may think, oh, what wires do I connect? Very simple. This terminal here will be number 1, which is the yellow cable, and that will go to the left indicator. Number 2 will be the blue cable, which will go to the fog light. Number 4, the green, to the right indicator. So it's very simple. As you can see here, I am connecting up the tow bar wires to the bypass relay. Also, for all those BDI people out there, you might have seen that the correct cables on the car are already labelled. I've did this a couple of days beforehand, so this would make this video a lot shorter. If you like me to do a video on how I did this, drop a like and comment below, and I'll make a video for anyone who would like this information. As you can see here, I am connecting the live wire to the bypass relay, but it's not connected to the power source at the moment. Okay, then what I need to do now is to get a earthing point for the relay. So what I'm going to do is drill in into here, but I'm going to just give it a little sort of a sand and then put a screw in, and then the earthing will go to this point here. As you can see here, I just tested to make sure the earth was good. As you can see here, I am making the earth cable longer, which comes from the Towbar electrics up to the bypass relay. As when this was cut, the earth cable was a little bit shorter, because I need it to get to the earthing point on the side of the car. Then I will join this with the earth cable from the bypass relay to the car. Then what you need to do once you've connected it, just get the lighter and just heat up the heat. Here you can just see me sorting out the wires and mounting the bypass relay on the side of the vehicle. In a second you'll see me just to put a cable tie around the bypass, so if the Velcro fails it will still be held with the cable tie. Here you can see me joining the two earth cables up. This one is from the bypass relay and the other one is from the 7-point connector on the tow bar. Here you can see a diagram of the electrical cables from the car side to the bypass relay. Right, I'm now going to connect the live, but just want to tell you, do not put the fuse in until it's all done. And I've just installed the cover over it. So then what I've got to do, just at the end, pop the fuse in here. But for the time being, while I'm going to connect all the cables, I'm going to leave the fuse out right until the end. As you can see here, I've got these, the brown will be going to the right tail light, the blue is the fog, and the green will be the right hand indicator. So these have got to go to the right hand side of the car, but what I'm going to do first, going to connect these 3 wires. The black is the left tail light, the yellow is the left hand indicator, and the red is the brake light, which with brake light, tail light and left indicator. So what I need to do, I need to slice this back a little bit so I can then get a Scotch connector onto these wires, and then that'll be the left hand side done. Okay, so I'm now going to connect all the wires. You have to be really careful here when you're trying to splice this for 2 things, so you don't actually nip the cable, and most importantly your hands. Bit annoying because what this is, it's like the sticky tape, so when you cut it, if it's normal PVC you could just pull it apart. So this is making it a bit of a nightmare, but we'll get there. As you can see, this is a bit of a nightmare to do because it's a sticky tape, so when you cut it, it still sticks. If it was a normal PVC housing, you could slice it, then pull it back. As you can see, I'm fighting with it. Well, I think I might have enough here, but if you can see, I've not sort of nipped any off the cables at all. They're all good. But if you do sort of a kink it or nip it, just make sure the cable's still sort of joined, and just put some insulation tape so it don't earth. But what, hopefully I've got enough, because these Scotch connectors are, or might solder. Do I solder? I might solder actually. Right, then I made a decision. I'm going to solder the wires, because I really don't like Scotch connectors, and if I solder, I know that'd be good for my lifetime. So I'm going to put it down. I'm not going to do a lot of talking, but what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to sort of splice the wires. What that means is like cutting into the cable, so I can then join the connecting cable to that copper wire. I will do them for all 3, so when I've got the soldering gun going, I can just go along and just connect them all up. So I'll put it down. Hope you enjoy. As you can see, I'm just splicing all the cables which I need to connect to, so then when I've got my soldering iron, I can have it on and just do the whole lot in one go. As you can see, they were all spliced. So now I've just got to join so I'll start with I will go through my list. As you can see, I've wrote it all down. So the yellow is the left indicator, that's the grey and orange. The red one is brake light, purple and brown, and the black one, left hand down is the purple. As you can see, I am connecting the correct colours from the bypass relay to the corresponding cables on the car. Once I've wound these up, I will solder the joins and then tape them. Right, so I literally just got to pop this back in. That goes up in here. I can't see with my fat hands in the way. So that just pops back up there. So that's the left hand side done. Okay then, so the left hand side's done. I need to go across to the right hand side. I've already got the cables. I know what I need to go into, but what I've got to do, I've got to remove this sort of low trim so I can run the cables inside here, along here, and up to there. Okay. On the inside, you have to undo these 10mm bolts there and there, and I think this just pops out. We'll find out. There you go, see, there you go, that's out now. So what it was, it's 2 bolts here and here, and then you just pop it out with a screwdriver. This is pretty dirty. Now I can run the cables down along the bottom here, up into there. Okay, as you can see, I've connected a cable tie, sort of taped it to the wires I need to get down here. I think if I can get my hand down here and then put my other hand to pull the wires through here, I'll give it a go. Voila! And like that, I have the cables, what goes down there. Okay then, I've got some cable, but what I've done, I've put a label on the end because I'm using 2 of the same colour cable. I've got 2 reds, so one's going to be a brown and one's going to be a green. Obviously the blue is going to go to blue, but make sure you put them on both ends of the cable so it looks a bit like that. So when you pull it through up to here, up to sort of this side here, get these connected, you know what colour cables on this end goes to here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get these cables into here and get these connected up. So then all I have to do at the end, join up these cables here, and remember we've still got to put a fuse in the fuse holder, and then put it all back together. Okay, now we've got the cables through to the right hand side. Oh sorry, yeah, the right hand side, actually looking from the back of the car. This blue one's a fog light. As you can see, the fog is here, and it's this white and blue one on a Volvo XC60. And then obviously you got the green cable, but obviously I'm using red. That's going to right hand indicator, and the brown cable going to right hand tail light, which I've got up here. Right indicator is this one, and the tail light is a yellow and black. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to splice into the cables, like done on the other side, solder join them all up, because I really don't like using the clips, whatever they're called, the crap. And then just got to connect the rest of these other cables up to the left hand side, and then yeah, right then, let's splice these cables. When you do this, like I said before, let's be very careful you don't cut through the cable. If you do, isn't a huge disaster. You just join them back up again. So I won't worry about it. Give it a go. The worst you can do is cut the cable. I learnt this when I was working at Ling's Honda in Wattens. If any of you into motorbikes, maybe I serviced your bike. Need to go all the way around, which I think that is. But this one, you don't need to do a huge splice, just enough to get the copper off the cable on, and then solder it. Normally I'll work away from my fingers, just in case I do slip. See a bit at the back here, haven't been done. Oh, I think there's a little bit there. That's it. I think that is. Oh no. I think there's a little bit there. Okay. Just got to do this one down here, which is a bit awkward because get that right for a second. all I'm doing here, I'm just connecting the correct cables to the right hand side to the corresponding cables on the car. Gonna solder the joints and then connect the socket back into the light socket. Here I'm just taping all of the cables which is coming from the right hand side over to the left hand side, and then I'll tape it along the bumper seal so when I replace the trim it will do not catch. I'm now going to connect the brown wire up here. The blue. And finally should be the green. Right, just got to solder these together. Here once again you're seeing my soldering skills. Hope you're enjoying it. if this video is helping you out and you gain a lot of content from this, please hit that like and subscribe button, because this has helped my video to push it out to further people like yourselves. There you go, so they're all joined and taped together. So literally that is the electrics all done. I just got to give this a clean. Gonna tape this. Before I'm gonna put all this down the cable, I'm just gonna give this a hoover out and a clean. So what I would like to do is tape the cables like here, so it's away, so the cables don't get caught. Here you can see me taping the cables to the car. This will hold it in place. As you can see, I've taped the cables along the back here. That'll be perfectly fine along here. Also, when you take out your plastic trim, you might find these little bits are left in here. Just pull them out and pop them back in here, so when you put the trim on, they just clip in. Right, I'm now going to install the plastic trim. Okay then, we've done the install, but we just need to fit the fuse. And then once we fit the fuse, we could in theory test the power coming from the relay, but I'm going to bypass that and I'm going to test out the lights from the Towbar pin, because I've not got a trailer or a trailer board. So the way you can test it, by going down to the pin at the bottom, earthing it at the pin, so you know the earth going to that is good. Because if you test from the earth up here from the car and test the lights, they may work, but when you then because you're earthing it up there, so it's not the earth from the pin. So yeah, so let me put the fuse in, put the cover back on, start it up, and then we'll test the lights. So there you go, and that's got a safety cover on, so that's all done. Okay, I'm going to now test the lights at the socket. I've done a nice little diagram. You have to excuse my drawing, I was never good at art. I'll turn it around. So here we go. So this top left, when I hit the foot brake, the lights should come on when I got the connection in there. The left hand indicator will be the top right hand side. The right hand indicator will be bottom left. The right tail light is this one here in the middle left. Left tail sort of light is in the center. That is the fog light. Fog. And that is the earth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test the car with the earth on the car to do all of these, well, on the tow bar, and then to make sure the earth is good down here, I will put this crocodile clip in this connection here, and then I'll test the hazards by putting my probe in here and here, the right and left indicator, and if they come on when the earth's here, that means I have a good earth in the circuit all the way down to the tow bar. Right then, I'm just going to connect the earth to the little bolt at the back. So right, I'm now testing the left hand indicator. I'll put this down here so hopefully see the left hand indicator should be this top one here. So that's working. I'm now going to put on the right hand indicator, and at the moment see nothing else. That's the tail sort of lights, them two sort of tail lights. The right hand indicator, that one's obviously that ain't work. So that's the earth and the fog light. At the moment the fog is off. So right, I'm going to put on the other side. So now we're testing the right hand indicator, which is this one down the bottom. As you can see, now I'm going to test the fog light. Fog light is, well, I can get you closer. Fog light is that one there. So that works. I can't test the brake light on my own, so I will now test the hazard by turning the car off and removing the keys from the ignition. So to test the earth at the back, you need to turn the car off, remove the ignition, everything's off. Well, as you can see, the hatches are on, but the ignition is off and the keys are out of the car. Actually, they're there. Okay, so right, what we'll do, move this and put this in the earth, which is in there. That will connect. I might have to just hold it with my hand, a bit awkward. There you go. So right, if I put on the top one and then I test the bottom one, so that tells me that earth to this pin is good, so all the electrics are working. That is the electrics all done, the plumbers are all back in, the seal plate is in there. So yeah, what I'll do in a second, I will go through what everything cost me. I got the tow bar second hand, so but it didn't have the bypass. As you see, they cut it really short, so I had to buy a separate bypass. But I'll log everything and I'll then just go through the prices. Okay then, so for the total cost to do that job, including fitting the tow bar was £40. I bought that off Facebook Marketplace. The bypass relay with some of the cables was £26.95 off eBay, and I spent £18 at Wilco's, but to be honest I only used 2 cable ties, a little bit of cable and that tester so I can find out where the power is. So I reckon that would have been about £5 worth of bits, actual bits, but altogether, including the £18 at Wilco's, the grand total was £84.95p. If you want to watch, if you've not seen me installing the Towbar, click up here. There'll be a card popping up. Click on that and you can watch the install of the Towbar. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon.